Alrighty, okay. Have your Allister handy, if you have one. All right, on your back. What's up? What's up? Oh my goodness. Okay, George can go between the knees as long as it doesn't squish the cat or interrupt or interfere. All right, long spine, open up the chest. Neutral pelvis, so you have that little bit of space beneath your low back. I do not have my ring light on. Hold on. That's why it's looking a little dark. All right, and focusing on your breath. So feeling the inhale, the ribcage expands. As you exhale, let your ribcage drop down. Let it relax. Again, feel that ribcage expand and contract. It's supposed to. And then with your next exhale, as the ribs drop down, gently squeeze in on George, gentle lift through that pelvic floor, and then zip up, draw in from pubic bone to navel. Inhale, keep that engaged if you're able, but allow the rib cage to expand. So again, all that connection of the core is just humming in the background here. Inhale up, expand, exhale and release. And then adding on that layering of as you exhale, now the ribs are also coming down. So again, you get that pull up, you get that draw down, you get that nice wrap of all the obliques. And y'all should really have a purring Allister by your ear. It's quite lovely. All right, so on the next inhale, head nod. Exhale, connect the core, and then slowly curl yourself up. Inhale, stay. And then exhale, slowly release yourself back down. Head nod, curl up, inhale, and curl down. So a couple more times here. Head nod and curl. Again, feel that connection. So there's no tension in the low back. So you're going down and up. I'm staying because Allister's behind my head. Support the head if you need to. Head nod, curl up, and hold this time. All right, so arms are reaching out. Again, check in. No tension in the neck. Add that hand for support if you need to. Coming into the 100. Not doing all 100 though. So it's inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. One more set on each side. I'm using the arms, so therefore I'm calling it a set. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Inhale, stay, and then exhale, slowly release down. And so again, check in, see how everything feels. Never had an Allister on top of me during a Pilates class before. All right, so inhale, as you exhale, give me that gentle imprint, squeeze in on the ball, and then you're slowly gonna articulate the spine up. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, and slowly release yourself down. Inhale, exhale, core engages, squeeze in on the ball, roll yourself up, back of the neck stays long, and then slowly roll yourself down. We got one more like this. Again, noticing that connection, feeling the core do the work, feeling the glutes work to lift the hips, and then roll down. And then check in, George can come out, and legs into tabletop. All right. Okay, so fingertips to the knees, core is engaged. So think about what you're feeling through the core. So a little bit of space beneath the low back. Yes, you're in imprint, but again, never forcing that low back into the ground. All right, so from here on exhale, that right leg gently extends out, and then inhale, come back in. Were you able to maintain that spine position? Exhale, left leg out, and in. So really taking the time. So you notice that setup. Check in. If the right leg is moving, that means those left obliques really have to do the work. In, exhale, left leg, right obliques, and in. One more. Start with the right, finish with the left, back in, knees can come into chest, release your low back a little bit, and then coming into spine twist from here. So legs are zipped together, and on exhale, you're slowly letting the legs fall just a little bit to the right, just enough that you feel that left hip come up. Inhale, center. Exhale, legs go to the left. Inhale to center. Continue alternating. Again, keep it really small. You can keep the knees in a little bit more if you need to, so you can really be aware of that pelvis and feel that rock, feel that biofeedback. So more of a challenge, obviously, the legs are starting to go out really toward that true tabletop, where the knees are over the hips. Arms are staying steady. There's no movement in the rib cage, in the upper body. It's all about control through the core. We got one more set. And then slowly on exhale, right foot comes down, left foot comes down, arms stay in the ceiling. All right, so take an inhale, feel the rib cage expand, feel yourself get broad across those shoulder blades. The arms are actually floating out and up a little bit just by the breath motion. And then as you exhale, sliding down and in. Inhale, breath out and up. Exhale, down and in. Inhale, out and up. Inhale, out and up. We got two more here. All right, and then arms are going to scissor. So one goes up, one goes down. Again, notice what the rib cage does. Back to center. So hopefully your hand will go all the way overhead. The reformer is stopping me from doing that. So as far overhead as you're comfortable, get a nice stretch through that shoulder. And again, notice the ribs. Notice that kick in. Notice there's a subtle shift side to side as you do this. And again, it's controlled. The abs are still drawn in. There's no mad popping of the ribs. All right, last one, and then release. All right, over onto your abs, please. George, underneath your breastbone. Hands under the forehead, or wherever's comfortable for you. And again, check in for a few breaths. So feel George is on the bony part of the breastbone, of the rib cage. And take a few inhales and really try to expand and open up the low back. See if you can get the spine to lift toward the ribs. And as you exhale, relax over George. Inhale, feel that expand. Exhale, draw in. And then as you inhale, right arm extends up. You're lifting up into hover. As you exhale, give me a little twist to the right. Ribs stays level on the bottom. Inhale, and then exhale, release down. Same side. Inhale, slowly extend up. Push George forward, get to the height of that extension. Exhale, gently push George now to the right, rotating the right shoulder up a little bit. Inhale, center. Exhale, down. Let's do one more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. Exhale, down. One more. And then take a breath. Switch hands. So now the left arm is going to do the work. So as you inhale, slowly extend up. Push that breastbone forward. Exhale, slowly twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, release. Core engages. Push that breastbone forward. Push George to the left. Slowly back to center. And release down. We got two more. And release. Check in for a moment, and then arms go out to T, thumbs up to up toward the ceiling, and then lift your spine into hover. So pinkies are on the ground right now, neck is relaxed. So check in, you're looking straight down at the ground, and then as you exhale, keeping that neck relaxed, shoulder blades slide in, gently down, lift the arms, inhale, touch your pinkies to the ground again. Exhale, core zips, lift. Inhale and release. And again, the key here is that that neck stays relaxed. We got 2 more. Taking your time, and then hold up, arms go to W position, and then slowly exhale, release forward, inhale, pull back. So again, the goal here is to keep those forearms parallel to the ground, and to keep the neck relaxed. And if you want more of a challenge, you're starting to pick those forearms farther away from the ground. That means you get more draw in through those shoulder blades. Let's do a couple more. Make sure that low back is nice and long and protected. And then slowly release down. George can come out. And the feet go mat width apart. There we go. All right, so from here, heels come together, knees bend, heels come together. I got it. All right, core is engaged, head is down. From here, abs are drawn up and in, so feel that corset wrap again. So feel the draw up from the pubic bone to the navel, feel the drop down, ribs toward the hips. And then as you exhale, glutes fire, gently press the heels, lift the knees, inhale, stay, exhale, release. So upper body should be able to stay relaxed if that core is effectively engaged and if the glutes are actually doing the work to lift those knees up. So exhale, lift. Inhale, stay, exhale, release, reset on inhale. So really taking your time. So again, glutes are firing, glutes are attached back here. This is where you should feel it on their bony attachment. Hamstring work is down here. Notice what you're feeling. Keep those knees wide. That's part of the work of getting those hamstrings out and getting those glutes to do more work. We got 1 more. And then release, and child's pose, or shell stretch, either one, same name for similar pose. So actively engage the abdominals, think about rounding that low back, equal curve. And then gently rock your hips side to side. Check in, see how everything feels. And then please come around onto your back. George, underneath your feet. Time for a little bit of our hamstring work. Getting them warmed up. So knees are going to be pressed together. Hold on, I need a head pad. Okay, core zips. Nice long spine. Again, so now you're staying in a neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Keep the shoulder blades back. Knees stay pressed together. That helps with that inner thigh connection, transverse engagement. Feel those ribs drop down. As you exhale, slowly lift the hips up. So straight spine lift, and then hinging right where those hips, legs come in, come halfway down, and then exhale, re-engage. Halfway down, exhale, re-engage. So keep working with that neutral spine. Keep those ribs down, keep the spine long. 2 more here. And then slowly release straight down. So as you release down, that sacrum is the first thing to touch. You're right above that gluteal cleavage. Knee feet can come off the ball for a minute. If you need a little hamstring stretch, feel free to take one. All right, then you're going to have your right foot on the ball. I guess I should know my right from my left first. All right, core engages. Slowly lift up. So think about pelvis is level here. So the weight is on that right foot, and then you're going to bring that left leg to tabletop. And then slowly bring that left foot back down. So keep that core engaged. Keep the pelvis level. Exhale, slowly lift to tabletop. And then slowly down. So keep that heel pulling in gently. And again, if you need to do this without the foot on the ball, that's fine. You're still pulling in with that hamstring and getting it to work. We've got 1 more here. Again, this is really core stabilization work. And then release down. Switch George to the left foot. Right foot's also flat on the ground. Hips are level to start, so be mindful of where the hips are. And then use your glutes, lift up. So pulling in with that left heel now. On exhale, slowly bring that right foot up to tabletop. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, right leg up. And again, you can do this with the hips on the ground, or sorry, the foot on the ground if you need to. George can be off to the side. Working on creating stability through the hips, making that hamstring engage. Working on that stability of the core. We got 2 more. Last one. And release. Down, knees to chest, heels to the ceiling. If you need that little stretch through those hamstrings, feel free to walk it. All right, and then George off to the side for a moment. And come up to sitting, working on a roll down and roll up. So if you know you need a padding underneath that low back to help you, you're welcome to grab that. Feet are hip distance apart. Heels are pressing out. Long spine, take a few breaths here. Just again, notice what you feel. Excuse me. And then arms reach forward, shoulder blades are relaxed. And then exhale, C curve forward. So again, equal curve in that whole spine. As you inhale, begin to pull that pubic bone up. Legs may straighten out a little bit more. And then as you exhale, really scoop the abdominals, drop those ribs, lengthen your spine, and release yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae. Arms go overhead. Inhale, head nod. Arms to the ceiling. Exhale, connect the abs first, and then slide the ribs to the hips. Slowly curl up. Use the magic buttons behind the knees if you need to, and reaching forward. So take an inhale, begin to pull that pubic bone up. As you exhale, slowly roll yourself down. Stay engaged. Keep the feet pressing toward the ground. Arms go overhead. Inhale, head nod, arms to the ceiling. Connect the core. Use the core to lift the upper body, and then press those legs down as you continue your roll up. One more time like this, and then we're going to have a little bit of fun. All the way down. Inhale, arms to the ceiling, head nod, and roll all the way back up. So our roll up is going to stay the same. We're going to do a little corkscrew variation on the upper body. So you're going to shift your torso, twist it just a little bit to the left. So the arms are kind of reaching over that left leg now. So you're really rolling down your left spine, and then slowly begin to pull the pubic bone up. Pelvis is still same level. You're just rolling to the side, the left side of that spine. Come to center, head nod, curl yourself up. Again, use the magic buttons if you need to. All the way forward, and then you're going to shift just a little bit to the right, and same thing. So keep that slight twist to the right, stay drawn and engaged. Slowly down. Come to center, and bring yourself up. Slightly to the left, once you're up. And again, you know me, I like you to really emphasize slow, slow, slow on the way down. You're using the lengthening of the muscles under tension against that gravity, or with that gravity even. And that's where you get stronger faster. That's why up center is perfectly valid. Keep those legs down as much as you can. Again, no discomfort in the low back. Shift to the right. And again, pull the pubic bone up. Pelvis stays level. It's the spine that is slightly rotated. Center up, core engages and roll. Let's do one more set. So shift off to the left when you get to the top. Again, rolling down the left side of your spine. You're just off center. Center and up. I was not engaged for that one. And then to the right, slight offset. Pelvis stays level. Roll down the right side of your spine. And then finish on the ground. I don't know about you, my mat kind of went all over the place on that one. All right, so you need George underneath your right foot again. Check in, see how you feel. Don't worry, the hips are staying down. This is more of a biofeedback than anything else. All right, George has the right foot, left leg to tabletop. Neutral spine. All right, right fingertips to the forehead. Left hand can go behind the head if you want a little stability. So take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to slowly curl up and then lift that right shoulder just a little bit higher than the left. And then inhale, untwist and release about halfway down. Exhale, slowly curl and twist. Inhale about halfway down. So you're straight out once you're down at the bottom again. So notice what's happening with that right foot. Is it wobbly? What's going on there? And really try to control it. So again, it's this right oblique set that's really engaged to help control this motion. Although it's the right to the left hip, that's what's engaging and creating this rotation. We got two more here. Again, push the head back in the hand if you're using the hand behind the head. One more. And then release. All right, keep with that leg up. So from here, right side stays nice and engaged, ribs are down. So you're slowly gonna, on exhale, drop that leg straight out to the right side. How far can you go and keep that, or left side, keep that right hip down and then pull back to center. So on that one, I rocked my pelvis a little bit. So again, think about what you feel. Push that right hip down as the left leg goes out. Check in with those right obliques. That's where that stabilization in the torso comes. So out to the side, how far can you go before that right hip starts to come up? So challenge your range of motion a little bit today. I know we do this one irregularly, but sometimes it's good to really slow down and challenge it. So if you need to do more than an exhale here, that's fine. Again, the elements of control is what we're really focusing on here. Let's do one more. And again, notice what's happening with that right leg. That's why George is under the foot. All right, come in, bring it down. Switch George to the other foot. And then tabletop with the right leg. Right hand behind the head if you'd like. Left hand in salute. So inhale, head nod, exhale. Engage through the core. You're lifting up first, and then you're creating that little bit of a twist where the left shoulder lifts higher than the right. Inhale, square yourself up, down halfway. Exhale, up and twist. Inhale, straighten out halfway. So again, small motion, slow, slow, slow. So you get all this biofeedback on what's happening when you go slow. You also have more time under tension. So the muscles have to work a lot more. And again, notice what's happening with this left leg as you're doing this. Keep the head pushed back in the hand. You're feeling in the neck, take a pause, reset yourself, and then come on back up. We have a couple more. Check in, how you doing? How's everything feeling? Let's do one more. And then release. All right, so check in with the left side obliques. Feel that left hip down. And then we're taking, on exhale to start at least, that right leg goes out to the side. Slow, 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 so you can challenge that range of motion a little bit. And then inhale, slowly come back to center. So again, notice what that left leg is doing. Notice what the pelvis is doing. Right leg drops out to the side. Whoa. So today, this range of motion is much smaller on this side. So core zips. Check in. And as you get that stabilization in this hip pushing down, you may find as you go, you're able to increase that range of motion. So that one was suddenly better for me. So it took a little bit for this left side to figure out what was going on. And again, this is why we go slow. So you can really feel what's happening. Feel that connection with the core. Feel what's going on. Two more. Take your time here. Last one. And then knees into chest. Release that low back. Check in for a moment. See how you feel. And then please roll over onto your side. George between the knees. All right, knees and hips both at 90 degrees. All right, core is engaged, bottom rib is lifted, top hip shifted away. I got this. All right, so starting with the hip shift. So you're slowly gonna take that top knee and reach it forward, rib cage stays still. Take that top hip and pull it back. So think about using the deep hip muscles to engage through this. You're also using the core muscles, your QL, your erectors. So two different muscle sets are doing some work here. Obliques are also getting in on the act. So again, notice what you feel. All right, so the next time that knee goes forward, take the arm with it. As your knee pulls back, you're slowly going to twist around. You're going to spend more time going back. Keep those knees pressed in and down, and then slowly pull yourself all the way back to the front as that knee goes forward. So pull back, your arm goes toward the ceiling. Twist back, continuing to push the knees downward. And then inhale, bring yourself up, push that knee forward. We got two more like this. Shift, twisting, you're gonna stay in that shift a little longer. And then pull back around. Last one. And then level your hips out. So we got a little bit of Betty looping. Yep, we're into side leg series. All right, so check in with your setup. And then you're going to slowly rotate that heel toward the ceiling. I want you to keep your foot relaxed, but I want your spine, your lower leg to stay in neutral. So sometimes that foot drops. So think about keeping that nice alignment there so the ankle stays straight. Relax the toes. Again, movement happens deep in that hip. You're continuing to reach your tailbone toward the end of your mat. Long spine, try to get it straight. One more, up and hold. Okay, so check in, bottom rib lifts, reach that top hip away, long spine. All right, so see on the exhales if you can rotate a little higher, do a little pulse here, higher, higher. Again, try to keep the hamstring out, so make sure that knee stays at 90 degrees. Try to go higher, higher. We got a few more, bam, and hold. All right, George needs to come out a little bit, so that knee may need to go up some. Keep this rotation and slowly bring the leg behind you. So try to open up and try to get that leg in line with the rest of the body. And then you're going to slowly, again, bending at the hip. Keep that tailbone reaching toward the end of your mat. Bring it back in. Keep that rotation. That's your challenge on this one. Glutes are firing. Glute min is creating this rotation. So you got multiple levels of glutes working here. Good. Take your time. Notice what's happening at the spine. Keep that top hip reaching away. If you can, keep that same amount of rotation throughout that range of motion. All right, last one here. Keep that leg back. Straighten the leg out. Again, check in with the ribs. Feel that lift. I'm dropping mine evidently. All right, so from here, slowly bring that leg down. Gently touch the mat if you're able, and then slowly lift up. Challenge your range of motion. Slowly down. Again, exhale, core engages. Push the hip out, reach that leg higher. Take your time here. So you're feeling the hip work. You're also feeling this bottom oblique engaging to stabilize. Shoulder stays relaxed. Up and hold. Check in. Small pulses up, up. Again, you're trying to get that little bit extra range of motion. Challenge it. Watch the low back. Watch the bottom rib. Watch the pelvis. 3, 2, up and hold. All right, small circles, 5 each direction. Inhale, exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, pause. Make sure that leg goes behind you as well as in front of you, and then reversing it. Last one, up and hold, we're not done yet. Allow the knee and toe to turn upward, and now push back. Release to where you started, push back. So you're getting more isolation on that glute by having that external rotation this time. And again, in this position, that's okay. Check in with your alignment. Keep that leg up. That's part of the challenge here. I know. You got 4, 3, 2, and last one. Collapse. Woo. Bring that leg in front. Get a little stretch out. And then we will flip around to the other side. Okay, George between the knees. Grab a drink while y'all get in place. Okay. So bottom rib lifted, hips and knees at 90, heels near the front edge of your mat. Squeezing in on George. Again, ribs stay still. You're going to gently push that top knee forward and then pull that top hip back. So ribs are stationary. There's a little bit of response, but really minimizing that movement. And again, deep hips doing the work, inner thighs doing the work, core is doing the work. And again, notice the rotation through that lumbar spine. You can even think about that bottom leg is actively opposing the top leg. All right, adding in the arm. So as you reach forward, that top arm goes up. As you reach that hip back, you're gently twisting. Stay there, and then pull yourself back around. Reach that top knee forward. So now you're skewed forward. Now you're twisting back, opening up. Forward again. Back and up. Synchronization on this side is definitely different than the other side. Trying to work on it. There we go. Okay, got it. It's just not what this side wanted to do. Reach, pull back. So think about as you're pulling back, that hip is creating that work in the obliques, which is creating that upper body twist. So it's still creating all of this from that initial low back movement. We've just no longer blocked the ribs from moving. We got one more. All right, and coming back to stacked knees, stacked hips, bottom rib lifts, top hip reaching away, and we got a little belly boop going on. Again, think straight ankle. Again, think about rotation of the femur in the hip socket. Got 2 more here. And then you're going to hold. So think about the foot, wiggle the toes, core stays engaged, check in, and then little pulses up from there. Up, up. And again, feel the work deep in the hip. Hamstring stays out of it, that knee has to stay at 90. Last one, hold it. George comes out. And then keep that belly boop, that internal rotation. You're slowly going to bring the leg back. Again, straight line here is what the goal is. And then slowly fold it forward. So your tailbone stays pointing toward the end of your mat the whole time. And again, you're rock solid through that core. It's nice and stable. We're disassociating femur from the pelvis. We're letting the femur do the work here. The pelvis gets to stay still. Keep that internal rotation, that belly boop as much as you can. Think about heel up. Notice how right and left are totally different. Good, we got a couple more. All right, this time we're going to keep it back. And then we're going to straighten the leg out, parallel the leg, slowly lower the foot down, tap if you're able to, and maintain alignment, and then lift up, challenging that height a little bit. So again, keep the hips stacked. If anything, those hips could roll forward a little bit. Tailbone stays reaching, bottom rib stays lifted. Up and hold. Boom. Check in. All right, little presses up, up, up. Again, roll the hip forward if you're feeling fatigued. Get more into the glutes. Keep that core long. 2, and last 1. Hold it. Small circles. Inhale for a half. Exhale for half. Pause. We got 5 each way. This is 3. 4, check in with the core, feel that zip up, feel the drop down, and then go the other way. Again, that pause in between is just as important as the actual movement. Last one. All right, stay lifted, rotate the knee and toe up, and now press back and release. Press back, so different isolation on that glute. So your glute max works in external rotation and abduction. Extension, sorry. So now we've got both of those going on while in that abducted position. 2 more. Last one. And release. Woo. Go ahead and bring that leg forward. Give it a little love. And then we're going to do our hip stretches. So go ahead and pull onto your back. Oh, I am missing a head pad today. All right. One leg crosses over, figure 4 stretch. Again, gently pressing out. If you want to make it a little bit deeper, you can reach around the left hamstring and pull everything in. And then from here, you can cross the legs over if you'd like. Try to parallel the shins and let your legs drop. If it's the right leg that's on top, your legs drop to the left. Put your left leg on top, your legs drop to the right. All right, back to center. Switch sides, start with figure 4. Push away. And again, if you want to go a little deeper, reach around the hamstring, pull everything in. And then again, if you want to go a little different, cross the legs farther, try to keep those shins parallel. And if your left leg is on top, your legs fall to the right. Again, just getting deeper in that hip. Nice deep breaths in and out. And then slowly release. Check in, see how you feel. And then come around onto your side and prop up on your elbow. All right, so elbows under the shoulder, elbows in line with the hip, the knees are a little bit forward, relax your feet. So from here, I want you to practice pulling the elbow in, and notice as you do that, your rib cage lifts automatically. That is your lat doing the work there. So pull in, your rib cage lifts. So keeping the shoulders square, pull in, rib cage lifts, core engages, lift up. Pull in with that elbow, try to get that elbow directly underneath that shoulder, and release down. So if you feel any discomfort in the shoulder, the elbow needs to come in more. So pull, lift, up. So core is nice and strong, so it helps you stay lifted out of that shoulder, release, and release. One more, and then we're going to add some fun in. So pull, lift, up. Feel that core connection, and then slowly release. All right, shake that arm out if you need to. All right. And then same thing, we're going to add on. We're going to stay up a little bit longer this time. So pull, lift, hips, top arm goes to the ceiling. So think about where your pelvis is. So now as you exhale, slowly begin to arc forward. So your ribs coming toward the opposite hip, round down, and then inhale, float back up. Keep pulling that bottom elbow in. Bottom rib is lifted. Pull in, open up. One more time with that gentle arc. So pelvis is staying still. You're rotating from the rib cage. And release, and down. Flip around to the other side. Don't worry, we'll add more on here in a moment. Again, get your alignment. Elbows underneath that shoulder. Hips are in line with the elbow. Knees are going to be in front. Core is engaged. Hips are stacked. Shoulders stacked. All right, so pull in with the elbow. Feel that, that lift and that engagement. Release. Pull in. Core engages. Feel that lift. One more. Pull in, engage, lift. This time we're actually going to lift the hips. So get yourself set. Pull, ribs, engage, up. Stay for a breath, and then slowly release down. So keep that pull in sensation while your hips are lifted. So pull, ribs, lift, set yourself up, lift. And then slowly release down. Pull, ribs, lift. So how does this shoulder compare? All right, adding the arm movement. So pull, ribs, lift, up. As you exhale, slowly arc forward. Reach long and out. Twist just the spine. Inhale, back up. So notice your pelvis. Keep that pelvis still. Draw up, keep it bone to navel. Keep pulling that elbow toward your hip. One more. And then back, release. And release. Okay, check in for a moment. Then we're going to go back to that first side. It's gotten a break now. All right, so get your alignment. Elbow, hip, knees are in front. Shoulders are stacked. Pull the elbow in. Lift the ribs. Core is engaged. Lift up. And then leg out. So keep this leg reaching long. Pelvis still. Again, arc forward. Pull in with that bottom arm. Inhale, open up. Exhale, arc straight forward. Inhale, allow the rib cage to open you up. One more time, arc forward. I know you're going, Sharon, we already did side leg series. Why are you making me lift my hip? Because it's fun. I know. All right, other side. I know, I have a very warped definition of fun. All right, that's why you love me, right? All right, so bend, pull in, core, and lift. All right, go leg out. Find that stability. Exhale, slowly, arc forward. So if you really need to, you can drop that top leg. Keep the pelvis still, glutes are engaged. Pulling that bottom elbow in. One more. Up, and release. All right, sit comfortably. We're going to do a little mermaid stretch for the sides. So come into mermaid position. So knees in front, foot is on the knee, the back foot is gently pointed, you're not engaged. All right, so inhale, the top arm goes up, exhale, drop that elbow down. Just stay here, take an inhale, reach, feel that rib cage lift toward the ceiling. Exhale, allow yourself to roll forward just a little bit. Inhale, feel the rib cage expand, lifts you back up a little bit. Exhale, roll forward, reach, reach, reach that arm. One more time. And then slowly inhale up, exhale back to where you started. One more time just because that feels so good. So inhale up, drop down on that elbow and over. As you exhale, gentle twist again. But now using that to really stretch and open up. Inhale, exhale. Even think about pushing that top hip back as you reach. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale. Push that top hip back. Reach. And then all the way up to center. Switch to the other side. Again, that back foot is pointed. That helps protect your knee joint. All right, so inhale up. Exhale, slowly leaning sideways. Take an inhale, reach. Exhale, slowly roll forward. So you can even think about pushing that top hip back a little bit here, mostly focusing on what's happening in the shoulder and the spine. Again, exhale, roll forward. Use that inhale to lift you up. Last time, exhale, roll forward. Inhale, up, and back to where you started. All right, last time on this side. So inhale up, exhale over, stay lifted as you reach, and then exhale into that twist, push that top hip back some. Inhale, center. Exhale, push that top hip back some. You can even take the knee, you can pick it up and move it behind you. Again, that all gets into the pelvis opening in a different way. Inhale up and all the way back to center. Check in, comfortable sitting position. Whatever that is for you. I'm lucky I have a reformer. I can just drop my legs off. You will need your George. If George didn't roll away. All right, George on the breastbone. Tall spine. And again, think about sitting back on those sits bones. From here, as you exhale, slowly rotate one direction. Inhale, let the breath move you back to center. Exhale, draw up and in. Feel the ringing of those obliques as you rotate to the other side. So continue alternating. One more. Shoulders are relaxed, neck is relaxed, and release. All right, George off to the side. Come onto your abs. We're gonna do a little swimming prep. Oh, a little other extension work. And then we're gonna be close to being done. So, hands under the forehead. Oh, sorry, pad under the forehead, arms are reaching out. Long spine, legs are parallel. So again, feel that connection, pulling up from the pubic bone, pulling down from those ribs, and then bring that spine into hover. So again, pelvis and shoulders stay still, spine stays still. As you exhale, right arm, left leg lift, only as high as you can maintain control. Inhale, release down. Exhale, left arm, right leg. Alternating sides. Neck stays relaxed. So if your neck's going to stay relaxed, what are you going to use to move that arm? Move from the shoulder blade. Think about down and in, creating like a Y, half a Y. Move from the glutes to move the pelvis, or sorry, to move the leg. Pelvis stays still. Think about minimizing your rock side to side. It's okay if you have a little. And again, if this is good, you can stay here. If you want a little bit more work, then you're going to go one up, one down. So into a reciprocal position. And then you can also do it from a fully lifted position if your back is okay with that. Again, it's all about what's comfortable for your back, what's comfortable, what you can maintain control of while you're moving. Again, you pick the level that's appropriate for you. Last set, and release. Go ahead and bend your knees, windshield wiper your legs. And then straighten those legs out. Feet go mat width apart, knees and toes turn out. Arms pull into goalpost. Nose is hovering to start. All right, swan dive prep. So as you inhale, long through the low back, core is engaged, gently push forward. Just come up to the base of your rib cage and then slowly release yourself back down. That's all the farther we're going to go today. I want you to think about push forward. Feel the stretch through the abs as you lift up. Notice your low back. Keep it simple today. Sometimes it's nice to just keep it simple. So this is your biggest range of motion here that we're going to do. This is also similar to breaststroke prep 1. Our legs are slightly different. So notice the legs. Knees and toes stay turned out. Glutes are firing to help you with that position. One more. And then please press back to shell. So after they engage the abdominals, surround the low back. Again, equal curve in the whole spine. Arms go wherever's most comfortable for you. Feel free to rock your hips side to side. All right, we need George one more time. George will go under your feet. Bottom ribs are lifted. Sorry, low back is long. Neutral pelvis, core is engaged. Get my head pad again. All right, so from here, take a nice inhale. As you exhale, push the feet down into George. Slowly roll George out. Keep the spine in neutral, pull back in. Knees stay pressed together. Feel that inner thigh connection coming up, helping you fire the pelvic floor, helping that transverse, and then ribs are also pulling down. All right, one more time like this. All right, so now this time you're going to exhale, roll out. From here, hands can be by your side. Lift your hips up, pull in as far as you're comfortable. Hips go back down, roll out. Watch the control here. Lift the hips, it's a small lift, pull in. Hips down, roll out, core engages, lift up, and in. Let's do one more like this. Hips down, roll out, lift the hips, come in. All right, reversing it. So walk George in a little bit closer to start. Now from here, lift the hips. Slowly slide George out. Drop your hips down, pull in. Core engages, lift up. Slowly slide out. Control it with those hamstrings. Drop the hips, heels in. Two more. Up, slide, down, and in. Last time. Up, slide, down, and in. All right, you ready to put it all together? Sure you are. All right, so the hips are going to stay up. We have three. So slowly up. So again, you're only a little sliding out as far as you're comfortable. So you're going to slide out. The hips are going to lower a little bit, and that's fine. And then you're going to pull in. The hips are going to go up a little bit. Two. Again, do one of the other variations if you need to. Watch the spine, length through the low back. Last one here. Boom. And then hips down, knees to chest. Press those heels up. Again, feel free to walk the hips if you feel like you need. Walk the legs. Sometimes that active movement here actually gets you better stretch and release on those legs. All right, knees into chest. Knees can go a little bit wider to help release that low back. Tuck the pelvis a little bit more. Feel free to rock side to side. And then feet on the ground. Check in for a moment. All right, finishing up with hip rolls just to see how that spine is moving. So as you exhale, engage, slowly roll the hips up, one vertebrae at a time, long at the top, so feel like you're reaching your knees over those toes, and then slowly articulate back down. Inhale, exhale, core engages all the way up. And then slowly release yourself all the way down. One more, that's all. This is just a check-in. Take a few breaths here. Allow yourself to relax. See how you feel. How do you compare to when you started? And then give yourself a great big hand. Excellent job today. Whoop, nope. Stop recording.